Say something.
This town is full of pizza. How can you sit there and eat monsters? Hello everyone, welcome to day 3 of Terrorthon Silent Hill Reviewed. Today we're going to be reviewing all the Silent Hill games. The title kind of gave that away. Silent Hill is a psychological survival horror series developed by Konami. The original 4 games were worked on by a group called Team Silent working at Konami, whereas all the others were developed by Western developers. We will not be discussing those today. Silent Hill for the PlayStation 1. Graphically, the game has not aged terribly well, and an interesting little fact you might not know about the famous fog of the series was actually to hide technical limitations and poor draw distances. The first game, it starts strong. I gotta say, the series starts off strong. It's still trying to find its feet in many ways. The gameplay is good, the combat is decent, but of course we're not playing as a police officer this time. We're playing as an everyday guy searching for his daughter who's gotten lost in the town. So it makes sense that our combat abilities aren't quite as refined. I'm not a big fan of the occult plot that's going on with it, but I still give this game a solid 8 out of 10.
Have you seen a little girl? Oh. Have you seen a little girl around?
No.
Oh. Have you seen a little girl?
Everyone will die.
Silent Hill 2, originally released on the PlayStation 2. This is one of my top 10 games of all time. The story is absolutely incredible. The twist at the end you will not see coming, I assure you. The gameplay is not the best, but it doesn't matter. The horror is very strong. As I say, the story is very good. The soundtrack by Akira Yamaoka is great as always. Pyramid Head is one of the most famous antagonists in all of gaming, not just horror gaming, gaming in general. And yeah, as I say, the combat once again is not the best, but who cares, right? It is often said that true perfection has to be imperfect, and for that reason I give Silent Hill 2 a 10 out of 10. Go and play it right now if you haven't already, but not the HD re-release.
This town is full of monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?
Silent Hill 3, originally released on the PlayStation 2. This is a direct sequel to Silent Hill 1. Silent Hill 2 had a story that was completely self-contained, whereas this one picks up from the first game almost immediately. So you take control of Heather Mason, the daughter of Harry Mason, who you played as in the first game, and in my opinion she's the best Silent Hill protagonist of them all. She's the only one who reacts appropriately to everything that is going on in this psychological hellhole. The combat has been improved from Silent Hill 2, but it can still be better, which we'll get to in a minute. The soundtrack is great as always, but I can think of very few standout tracks from this compared to the first and the second games. It's overall pretty depressing, but that's Silent Hill for you, isn't it? I recommend this one. I give this an 8 out of 10, if not a 9.
They look like monsters to you?
And now we come to the controversial one, Silent Hill 4 The Room, released on the PlayStation 2. This game gets a lot of shit, but I will say this. It's not a good Silent Hill game, but it is still a good game. It has a lot of really freaky moments. Soundtrack is okay, I suppose. I don't really remember much about it, to be honest. The story is really confusing and convoluted, but in a good way, and the combat is the best it's ever been in the series. And I think the monster designs are at their peak in this game. That thing with that two-headed baby thing. Oh! Silent Hill 4 gets a 7 out of 10.
The umbilical cord I keep in a box in my room. Lately it's started to smell terrible.
And that's it. See you tomorrow.